Now come on. Now, I do. Now, I hate. Come on. Now, I said, ooh. What's happening, y'all? This is the Unprofessional Opinions Podcast, episode number 15. My name is AJ. Sitting across from me is my guy, my mentor, my financial advisor, my best friend, my lots of other things. Mr. JC Shazay, how are you this evening? Afternoon?
Yo, I ain't have to go to work today. President's Day special.
Same. I'm online. But I did not have to go to the office. Amazing.
Other than that, man, I'm cooling, man. Just another day in the life.
True that.
Unprofessional opinion. 2 guys, 1 podcast, no rules.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I mean, we got
one rule.
8 rules. I mean, we got another one too, but it's not really an official rule.
Right.
Hey.
So it's no rules asterisk.
Right. Right.
We're gonna cover everything that has happened. We would talk about Valentine's Day, but neither one of us celebrated.
I didn't do shit for Valentine's Day.
I don't acknowledge it as an actual day. So
I tell a lot of people that it's all like I don't really like it because I just think it's all performative. Like the love and the aspect of everything that you're doing it because it's someone else has deemed this big day, and now everyone else is now doing something on this big day. So now you feel obligated to do it on this big day. Me personally, I would much rather do some ball ass shit on a random Tuesday in fucking August or whatever, rather than doing it on this big day just because everyone else is doing it. But of course, I got called a prude for having such an attitude. I just think it would mean more to do it on a day that is not deemed specifically for that.
Man, look, y'all not tricking me. Okay? Like, I'm not paying a markup for the same stuff that I could have got a week earlier at 40% less cost. It's financial reasons why I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. Okay? And, I mean, who said you were you know what? I would celebrate Valentine's Day if women were, if they were required to reciprocate the gifts.
That
how
is
about
definitely a big part of
Now, why don't you give me something for Valentine's Day?
Well, I mean, a lot of the women that would hear this would be like, "Oh, y'all just got lame girlfriends or whatever," because apparently
they don't know me very well.
Right, apparently, when you have a good girlfriend will automatically reciprocate all those types of things, which I agree with. But I'm just saying, I don't think it's a lot of women out here doing that. To be completely honest,
I think they may reciprocate not on Valentine's Day.
Fair.
They may hit you with the IOU, and then they get you. They get you later.
Right. I feel that.
But yeah, so we got politics, we got sports, we got cultural stuff. My guy is back on the docket.
Who?
My guy. He's back on the docket.
He's back on the docket.
But we're gonna start as we normally start.
Mm-hmm.
In Washington. So the government is still open.
Yeah. The government is indeed still open, thank God.
So
with a twist.
So Trump decided to sign the funding bill to keep the government open that gives him a little bit over $1.3 billion for borders. Not a wall. We don't know what that is. But fencing. Now, apparently what this fencing is a bunch of metal poles that are spaced in a way that people cannot go through them to get in.
Mm-hmm.
But agents can see what's going on from the other side. And, to get that, the Democrats conceded the number of detention beds that ICE can have.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted like 40,000. It's like 45. And Trump said, I didn't get my 5.7.
But I got something.
I'm going to declare a state of emergency, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Bullshit.
What are we thinking about that?
I mean, bullshit. Goddamn emergency. Nobody's life is in danger because of the people who are fleeing their country.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about that, because, you know,
we are not in danger. Us Americans are not in danger.
When it comes to most things about Trump, you are right.
Right.
But you were like that much wrong. Because according to, you know, the way that the government works, the president doesn't really have to define what the emergency is. He can just say it, and he has kind of full discretion.
Yeah.
So, while you don't think it's an emergency, if Trump says an emergency, it's kind of an emergency. Kind of. Because we have to figure out.
So we're getting back kind of like into the same argument Richard Nixon said when he said when the president does it, it's not illegal.
Pretty much.
Which is also bullshit, for the record. We do know that. So we both do know that this is bullshit.
What, the state of emergency?
Yeah.
Do I? Yes. I mean, I'm not
come on now.
No. But it's the only way that he can get the funding to build a wall.
True.
So
where is he going to get this funding from now that it's a state of emergency?
Oh, well, he hasn't announced it yet. And
interesting. Funny how that works.
It has to, you know, obviously the Democrats aren't just going to sit by and let him declare a state of emergency.
Well, yeah, most assuredly.
You know, if you listen, what was that, 2 weeks ago when I said they should give him the wall in exchange for H.R. 1, maybe you should let him declare a state of emergency. Because if you open up that box, if we're assuming that the Democrats are definitely going to take the White House in 2020, stay tuned. Because you can declare a state of emergency for a lot of things. So if you open it up, then let's open it up if you want to do that.
True.
But it's going to go to the courts, and they're going to be like, okay, like, no, everybody that comes here isn't a criminal. Half of them are actually like...
Half of them niggas is literally doing a bunch of manual labor that, once again, Americans are too fucking prideful to do or want too much to do.
Well, I mean, not even that. Just half people is just... They came to the country the same way everybody else has ever come to this country. They just want a better life than what they had.
Exactly.
And this is the land of opportunity.
And I also find this interesting because I don't... Have you heard any other stories of complaints or any other types of immigrants other than immigrants from Mexico? Like Latin immigrants? Are we hearing any of this? And I hate to like try to do this, but are we hearing anything about this for like African immigrants or like European immigrants, maybe Asian immigrants?
Well, I mean, you remember now we started off with the Muslim travel ban. So he tried to settle everybody that wasn't a Christian. He tried to go ahead and settle them, get them out of here.
Yeah.
So this is number 2. So now it's just not just your religion. It's Muslims and Mexicans.
Right.
We don't want you here. I do.
But wasn't the Muslim travel ban wasn't that spawned from an attack that had happened or something along those lines? I don't remember in specific. I can't remember how that came to be.
No,
so
he was like, get the Muslims up out of here. Like that's how I remember.
Oh, okay.
But
well,
I mean, here's the thing. He promised a wall, so he's got to get a wall. I mean, he can take military funding, military infrastructure funding. He can take funding from anywhere he kind of wants to get the 5.7 needed to build a wall. Now, again, as I said, what was that, 2 weeks ago, last week? We don't know what wall means. Trump don't know. Well, nobody else know.
No.
We don't know if he's trying to build a medieval fortress.
Brick and mortar.
Or if he's just trying to build a bunch of metal on top of slats. You telling me you need 5.7 bill to put some metal on top of some metal.
Right.
That's a fence. You know, like, so... And, I mean...
True.
First of all, like, it's like a 2,000-mile stretch of wall that he wants to build. In what he signed, he's only going to build like 55 miles of that. Even in the 55 miles, because of certain like environmental, like I don't want to say landmarks, but something of like environmental, he can't build on all 55 consecutive miles of this stuff.
Wow.
So it's like
so it's 1.3 bill for 30 miles worth of shit. For 30 miles worth of fences.
No, it's not fences. Remember, it's metal poles really close together.
Okay. Okay.
It's funny.
I found it funny, just random side note, that Ann Coulter, I don't know if you know who that is.
One of them conservative
One of them
talking heads from CNBC.
Yeah, one of them ugly ass old white dumb women. She was talking about how she felt like she was lied to by the president, and then she also said if he doesn't get this wall, then he won't be remembered for anything at all, or like what his legacy is like over. And it's just like, it's very ironic. It's like the pot calling the kettle the kettle. It makes no sense.
But either that, she's wrong.
Yeah, 100%. Because
Trump is going down in history.
He's going down in history as the first non-politician to become president of the United States. Easily. Like whether we like it or not, that's historic.
I mean, he's influential.
I don't want to use that word, but I mean, it is. Ain't no other word for me to use. So yeah.
Well, I say he's influential because the way we respond to it it'll really determine his influence. Because Trump can be a positive influence because we say, okay, whatever happens, we're not doing that again. That's positive influence, right? Like,
I mean, addition by subtraction. Yeah.
No, it's like, no, we're going to pay way more attention to what our politicians are doing on the campaign trail. Mm-hmm. That's positive.
Well, okay,
that's not addition by subtraction.
That is positive.
That's like what happened in 2016. We the people are making sure that that's never happening again. That's the only way it could be a positive. Everything else is negative. I mean, if he builds a medieval wall, and we got Mexicans pole vaulting over to get it to the country, that's negative.
True.
I mean, it takes years to learn how to pole vault like that.
Or I mean, if he's just are smart enough to just bring a goddamn ladder.
Oh man! Or if you just tunnel under like El Chapo.
There are lots of ways to get around this shit.
He got convicted by
he did.
Yeah,
they gave him all them shits.
I think that was really funny.
That he got convicted.
That he was trying to defend himself. Like, nah,
you
don't understand. Like I ran a cartel, but like I didn't do all of it. You know, they're like, I didn't kill I didn't order all the kills.
Yeah, he got convicted on all charges. For the people that don't know, every single one of the charges, he's going to jail for a very long time, unless they break his ass out. I don't know how. I think they probably will take him to like. Man,
he probably trying to build a tunnel right now to get up out of there.
Right, but I think they're taking him to a prison where it's like world renowned, almost like Gitmo type joint. I don't know if it is Gitmo.
If anybody can get out of there, El Chapo can. I mean, I don't know why they just didn't kill him. Like, no, he ordered like 200 murders,
and did a few of them himself, I'm sure. So.
Right? They have him, like they got his technology guy because El Chapo became paranoid, right. So he hired his own technology guy, and they flipped him into a witness.
Right.
So they got this man on phone saying, "I'm giving you coke or I'm killing you."
Right.
Kill this guy. I said it, El Chapo.
Also, one of his side pieces, it was funny as hell. A lot of people use this as an opportunity to talk about faithfulness in relationships because his wife didn't flip.
Of course not.
But one of his side bitches did.
Yeah. Duh.
Yeah. So it's
the
just
gravy
like,
train is getting ready to go to jail. I flip it. What are we talking about?
I'm just saying, they were just like, know where your loyalties lie. That's all I'm saying. The one that played her life to you.
Look, wifey couldn't flip. He would have cut wifey up before he went to Gitmo. She know that. Come on now. Are we really using that? That's why I can't.
I didn't come up with this. I can't get on Twitter
if that's happening. Let's talk about Paul Manafort. Sticking with the Trump thing.
Paul, you dumbass. Federal judge said, "Oh, you made this plea deal? Nah, nigga, you ain't getting off that easy. We reversing that shit." because the judge
So
said
he did lie.
Yeah, they were just like, they know for a fact that he lied, even in his plea deal. So they reversed that shit. He's going to jail. What the fuck is going on? Why is everyone keep lying? Why does everyone keep lying to the federal authority?
Because Trump is president. And
everyone keeps lying and they keep getting caught.
As long as Trump is president, he can always pardon these guys.
But does anyone know that, like, are they even thinking their lies through? Because everyone that's told a lie thus far has been caught.
Right. Well, I mean...
the lie.
Like I said, Trump is president. So, I get what you're saying about, like, them lying is like if you go get pardoned, then just tell the truth. If you tell the truth, you're not getting pardoned. Exactly. So if you lie and they get caught, you go to jail for a little. You go sit down for a little while. They're not going to Rikers Island. They going to, Lost Lakes.
Yeah.
Community jail. Like, they going to jail with 18 holes.
Sheesh.
That's a vacation, no phone. And then Trump getting you out of there in 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it benefited them a lot because Trump is president. But, yeah, Manafort, I mean, hopefully they can get him to flip on Trump. That's what they need. They need somebody to flip on Trump.
And I don't think, the thing is, if you flip on Trump, I feel like you'll come out way better. I feel like you'll be able to go walk. There's definitely...
Not while he's president.
I think the FBI will 100% grant 100% clemency to someone who 100% flips on Trump.
Right, but if Trump president, he can still get to you.
But how though? Because that's not his branch of the justice system.
No, I'm not saying he can just get to you.
Not legal system, the branch of government. There we go.
I'm not saying that's how he get to you. But the president of the United States is the most powerful man in the world. He will get to you.
Oh, man.
And, I mean, I don't think Trump takes stuff like that kindly. Trump's got a little 100%. Bit of a mob mentality. He just doesn't have, mob resources or, mob funds or, mob smarts.
Or, mob men. Anything mob, really.
He might have mob men. Not men who are in the mob, but, people who would just do his dirty work.
You're right.
Think Paul Manafort's gonna get Medicare if he flips on Trump?
Sit the fuck down.
That was a hard transition.
True.
So we're gonna talk about Medicare for all.
Uh-huh.
Should it be the Democrats' number one issue in 2020?
No.
Okay.
Because there are too many people in this country who fight rationally or irrationally hard against socialist type movements. I don't think that should be I don't think that would be a strong enough base of voters to get you where you're trying to go.
Well, so what should be their number one issue?
Now, before we get to that,
okay,
we have noticed that it's always it's definitely been a trend of someone who's Democratic. Okay, we tried that. Maybe it worked, maybe it didn't. Now we got to go Republican. That worked, maybe it didn't. So now we got to go Democrat again. And it's been going back and forth over the past how many decades?
Yeah, I mean normally because I think most of that has been because we've had 2-term presidents.
Right.
So after 2-term presidents, it normally shifts.
Right. So now because we have someone who is so extremist and right as Donald Trump, or at least says things that will spark the extremists of the right in the people. Okay. I feel like it could maybe work. I feel like there's a possibility that it could work because we've had something that's so extreme one direction, and us being America, we have for some reason have an extremely difficult time going for the middle. So I feel like maybe going the extreme left might be able to work. I still don't think it would, but there's a possibility because we've already we've seen that going one extreme way work this go round, so they might try it the other way. Now, in terms of what their running base should be, outside of obviously getting this nigga to Trump the fuck out of here,
that shouldn't be it, but
I mean,
but you said it multiple times. You need policy.
right,
Getting Trump out of here is not a policy.
right. So, I mean, that would be one of them, because I mean, most of the country agrees that Trump needs to get the fuck out of there.
Right, but that is not policy.
That is not policy. So if you're saying running on policy, I don't know. I feel like honestly, the biggest one might end up coming from like the economy. Like with all this trade war shit that's been going on, like I feel like that might be the biggest thing that they would need to run on, is making sure that we're legitimately like bringing jobs and shit to America and building like real economic growth and across the nation, rather than just in already the big ass cities that have everything already. I think that would probably be a good one, to be completely honest. Because the world has not been talking nearly as much about the trade war that's been going on as it should. So
we'll put an asterisk on that.
Okay.
So I agree with you that Medicare for All shouldn't be their number one policy thing, but we have different reasoning, of course.
Mm-hmm.
One, because Democrats have been pushing healthcare since Clinton. Bill Clinton ran on, well, actually,
Obviously, outside of being tough on crime.
well, I mean, really, George Bush, H.W., God rest his soul, he messed it up. Because he looked America in the eye and said no new taxes as he was signing a tax bill. You don't come back from that. Like,
Right.
But Clinton tried to do healthcare, and we all know Obama ran on healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to be the third straight Democrat when we're pretty sure we're going to get the White House and we're going to do healthcare again.
Well, the difference was, did Clinton actually get healthcare shit done?
I don't think so.
Right. So Obama was like, yeah, we ran on healthcare with Clinton and we didn't get it done. Then Obama came around and we ran on healthcare and we got it done, but then Trump undid it. Well, has Affordable Care Act like been officially undone, like 100%?
I don't think so.
Right.
I just think certain acts of it, like certain parts of Obamacare, have been repealed.
Right. So like, yeah, we got part of it done and it got repealed. So it could be now we're running on it and we're trying to make sure this is the policy that everyone agrees on, that is not going to be repealed.
Right,
repealed.
but here's let me stop you there.
I'm just saying, like, that could be like the move in the chain. Like,
no,
we tried it and it didn't work. We tried it and it worked, but it had flaws. Now we can try it and it'll work, and we make sure that everyone's happy.
Right.
Yeah,
100% agree with that, but we have new factors to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
When Obama passed Obamacare, Supreme Court was mostly left.
Right.
Because remember, it went to the Supreme Court because the Republicans said this is not even in the Constitution.
Right.
And they said, oh, you mean healthcare? Anyway.
Right. Being able to, like, live? Cool.
Right, okay. Now we have a different makeup of Supreme Court. So if you're going to go even more left with Medicare for All than Obamacare was, no way that gets through the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you're really just throwing a shot in the dark if you try to run Medicare for All. Second thing, it's like 75 people running for president on the Democratic side.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
obviously that's going to get cut down over the summer.
yeah, I mean, it's going to get cut down as you get in the primary season, but as you get into debate season, there's probably still going to be 10 to 12 people talking about Medicare for All. They all agree on it, but they all have to have slightly different methods. You can't, like, Kamala Harris
Mm-hmm.
can't say, oh yeah, I agree with Senator Booker on his Medicare for All. Well, then what are we doing with you? We need to vote for him then, right? So it's like you're going to be nitpicking so much
Mm-hmm.
about Medicare for All that you're going to confuse people. Okay, right. Single payer, you have all of these semantics that you're going to talk about, and everybody's like, all right, so
this is too much.
Right.
A lot of people will be like, this is literally too much to digest.
Like, this is what y'all arguing about?
Across 12 different people.
Word?
So now, what do you think they should run on? Or unless you weren't done with that tidbit.
No, I am done with that.
Okay, so what do you think they should run on?
Honestly, they can't. It's difficult because I put an asterisk on the economy because we're going to get to that.
Right.
They can't really run on the economy.
They can't get Trump the fuck out of here because that.
I think the only way that I think what they need to run on really is foreign policy. They say Trump has isolated us from the rest of the world.
Well, that kind of plays hand in hand with the trade wars, then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. They should play more to that. Like, our standing, as in our relationships with everybody else, has been fractured because of Trump.
Mm-hmm.
If the United States is going to be the superpower of the world, we have to have relationships. Like, that's what I think they should do right now.
That's a good one. That's a real good one.
But then we transition to talking about...
If you had to then go and target a few countries that you would want to either build a relationship with or, build, rebuild, or strengthen a relationship with, like, who are a few of those countries? Because I think North Korea's got to be one, because we just watched us get... Trump got bitched by Kim Jong-un.
I mean, the countries that you bring up, I don't know enough about foreign policy to say these are the countries you need to strategically...
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, based off of what we've gotten thus far.
The countries you bring up are China, North Korea...
Honestly, I think you got to say Cuba.
Iran.
I'd say Cuba.
And then possibly Russia. Like, those 4 countries you have to bring up in some way.
Cuba?
I mean, Castro did, so
but they're still they still got heavy sanctions on them niggas.
No, Cuba ain't finna do nothing.
Cuba ain't finna do nothing, but they have lots to contribute that a lot of us would be able to a lot of the rest of the world would be able to benefit from. Like, I think I forget which type of cancer they had, like a kind of, I don't know if it was like a vaccine or like a proper treatment that can that eradicated it from the system, but Cuba has had it for years, and they paid way less for it. Obviously, because they don't have as much money as the United States does, but they have this type of shit that we would definitely be able to benefit from. So that's just, I think that would be something that would be.
And also the NAFTA people, Canada, Mexico, that relationship is kind of fractured. We got to figure out what's going on in Venezuela.
And then do we want to do maybe the countries in the Big 7 or the Big 6+1? I remember when it was what was that summit that they did?
Oh, G7?
Yeah, G7.
But basically that's how you run. That's right now. So now we transition into the Green New Deal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much you know, but I can just give you a little synopsis.
Yeah, I actually don't know shit about it.
Okay, so basically, Green New Deal is by AOC, Representative Cortez from New York, and somebody else. Basically said, Democratic Party in 10 years is going to completely eliminate kind of the fossil fuel industry. Yeah, all these jobs and new infrastructure that's all green, and
eliminate the fossil fuel industry, like, in America in general?
Yeah, like, we're going to be 100% green in 10 years.
That ideally that would be great, but how?
And they said it's going to, bring in all these extra jobs, and there's going to be a universal minimum wage, like universal basic income, Medicare for all sprinkled in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the way. That's kind of what it is. It's kind of equivalent to like the New Deal from FDR, but it's green.
Right.
And with that come, they're all related to Medicare for all and universal basic wage and
Mm-hmm.
all of that stuff. So, with that being said, do you like it?
I mean,
Ideally,
that,
practically, all just politically, all of it.
all of that
what are your thoughts?
sounds great,
Mm.
but I just know a lot of it is going to have to be like, if passed, repealed, or negotiated on.
Mm.
Like for instance, definitely the universal basic wage, or universal, the increasing minimum wage or whatever. That one would definitely be. I like the green, the actual green part of it, of making us less dependent on fossil fuels.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, we really have no idea how much pollution we're giving off. But what else did you say? You said Medicare for all. I mean, I've already spoken on how I feel about that. I don't think that. I'm just thinking at this point, it people have too much of an issue with quote unquote socialism to do that. But overall, like I said, it sounds good.
Right. So that's the thing. So this is not really a policy as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the prominent Democratic candidates are behind the Green New Deal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they're going to have their own version of it. And again, you're going to have 10 to 12 different versions of the Green New Deal. But this is where I put the asterisk.
Mm-hmm.
Because all this is basically ideology. Like, this is where the Democratic Party should go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Democratic Party is going that far left, going to have a hard time. Because the extremes never work. It's always moderate. That's always how I do when it comes to national elections.
Mm-hmm.
But if the economy is in the crapper, now that brings up an interesting way of doing it, because now you actually have more New Deal type of urgency,
right?
Like the original New Deal.
What I'm saying is the economy is in the crapper. You mean by the time like it gets passed?
No, if by 2020 the economy is recession level,
mm-hmm.
which is why I say that that Democrats right now, they can't run the economy,
right?
Because the economy is projected to do well for the majority, if not all, of 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't say the economy is bad. It's gonna be bad. People are like, yeah, what are you talking about? My 401k is going through the roof. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't run on that right now.
True. So
if the economy is bad and we have to do a New Deal, like unemployment rate is high, it sounds like you said, it sounds like a viable option.
That sounds great.
To get people back to work. Universal basic wage sounds really good when the economy's bad.
But
I mean, universal basic wage is I don't think it's really a good idea. I mean, you can't eliminate poverty. So,
true.
Some people are just going to be poor.
Yeah, I mean, in a capitalistic society, yes.
Right.
Like, that's going to happen.
Right. So, it's like you can't cure poor.
Right, because some people just have more access than others. So, I actually saw a very interesting tweet about this. Talent is evenly distributed. Opportunity is not. That's a really good one. That was a pretty good.
I've heard that before.
I'm pretty sure I've heard like variations of it,
but
never just like straight up and frank like that. That's real though. That's real. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's plenty of folks who could probably do what a lot of us do, but just haven't had the chance to do it. And haven't had the chance to get the chance to do it. So
I got the answer to that.
What?
You know what it is.
What?
You know what it is.
What is it?
I can't tell you. I can't tell the listener, but I got the answer.
I mean, you go. I mean, what that is?
Anyway.
L. All right, where we at?
Oh, let's keep it in New York.
You know what's happening in New York?
I know what's not happening in New York.
What?
No Amazon HQ2.
Hell, man.
Pulled it out of Queens. Let's talk about Jeff Bezos' business life before we get to his personal life.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, a lot of people just didn't like the idea of Amazon being in Queens, so they yanked the deal.
Right. I think it was because, I mean, a lot of people were concerned on the local side of just like, y'all just going, yeah, this is going to create jobs, but it's going to turn into a situation where y'all are bringing folks from literally everywhere else rather than employing locals, thus making it harder for locals to stay there and pushing them out, which is an issue that we've been talking about for years. Like, yeah, like, the deal itself wasn't necessarily the city is giving Amazon like all this money to do this. Like, the money was going to be based on making those jobs available. The problem was you're bringing people from everywhere else and not the locals to help build that local economy. I feel like that's the reason why they were just like, man, fuck all this. We striking. And then Amazon pulled the hell out. So
I don't get it, man. I don't get it at all. Because, I mean, I don't want to rehash the discussion we've already had about this.
mm-hmm.
But the goal of a city is to get as much talent into the city as possible. If you ain't got what we want,
right? But I don't think it's necessarily that. I think it's also the goal of the city is basically to get as much talent there as we want, but to also develop the talent that's there to make the city much more attractive for getting more talent there.
Nah, that's not the goal of the city.
I think that
but
has
if
to be
your
part of the
city
goal
is
of the
broke,
city.
how in the world you gonna develop talent with what money? we did the Fast and Figures. New York City was broke. The tax rate is ridiculous in New York because the government don't have a whole lot of money. So where is the money going to get invested from?
New York is broke. It is broke.
Like, go back to the Green New Deal. One of my issues with the Green New Deal is that it's going to cost $1 trillion. Where are you getting that from? Who just got $1 trillion lying around?
The Rothschild family.
They don't even have that. They know how to get it.
They probably got that shit.
They know how to get it. They ain't got it.
I bet they got it. I bet they got it liquid.
No, they ain't liquid like that.
They ain't got it liquid. They got it in assets. They ain't got it liquid though.
It's just like y'all keep. The more left people get, and that's what it is, because New York, very left state.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't see people in D.C. got a problem with it because D.C.'s moderate.
Right.
Well, right now they're more right, but they're moderate.
Yeah. The city of D.C. is moderate.
Yes. But y'all keep thinking the answer to everything is just to invest. With what? What are you investing? Where? Where are you getting this funds from? You need companies like Amazon to bring in a mix of people to your city. Amazon brings in the money. Mm-hmm. Amazon brings in the attractive talent. Then the local talent either can get developed or they can get out of town. Let's say here with the morality, I'm leaving my home. So? What? And?
It's terrible.
Get out. The city's place is not, that's not the goal of a city. Cities have to make money too. People have to get paid too. Alright, so what's happening in his personal life? So his business life is getting shot down.
His personal,
and he's trying to get it started.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They. I forget who it was.
It was some magazine, right?
Yeah, some magazine basically was trying to extort him for his nudes. Hilarious. He was saying they were gonna post his nudes.
Well, I mean, he is getting a divorce.
Yeah, but
I had a real funny topic about that when it first happened.
What?
I said that's the biggest indicator of economic recession we've had thus far.
Wow.
Because you gotta think about it. They got married in California. I don't know what the prenup situation is, but if she gets half,
she's about to be the richest woman in the world.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That means Amazon stock may be getting ready to tumble, so she's trying to cash out. Amazon stock tumbling.
Amazon stock is not tumbling.
What?
Amazon stock is not tumbling.
False. It'll tumble.
It's not tumbling right now.
If the economy tumble, that's what I'm saying. If the economy were to tumble, then her share.
Niggas still gonna be using Amazon products though.
No, I hear you, but what I'm saying is from Mrs. Bezos' point of view, because all of Jeff's money is in Amazon stock. He ain't liquid, the richest man in the world. All his stuff is in his ownership stake of Amazon. So if his ownership stake starts to go, if the value of Amazon starts to go down because the economy as a whole is going down, right? Yeah, you can still use Amazon Prime until you don't have a job. Then what you getting shipped to your house? Yeah, you may not have one of those either, right? Unemployed people don't shop on Amazon. And they sure ain't got Amazon Prime to get it in 2 days.
Right.
So the whole economy goes down, Amazon going down with it, and her piece of the pie goes down. So she catches out now.
And a lot of people did say that she did play it smart, because if this has been like a recurring thing that's been going on for years, and she was just like, all right, I'm just gonna wait until this bag is like real right, and then I'm gonna get out of town. Even if it's not necessarily cashing out, it's just like, I'll cash out when we're at our peak. Fuck if we fall or not. But like now
that's what I'm saying.
Now
if she cashing out when you at the peak, then that means she see a fall coming.
Well, I don't necessarily think that. I think she was just like, okay, we prospering. Now would be the time to go ahead and get my half.
Right, but I'm saying you could get more half. if Amazon keep growing, your half keep growing.
But look, now
get
you
a bigger half.
I mean, right, but that's already like $185 billion or some shit like that. Like, she good. And she straight.
And you know what $185 billion is?
Greed.
Less than $186 billion.
That's greedy.
I get half of that.
You just greedy.
Whatever.
That's just greedy as hell.
If the dude running around on me, I have every right to be greedy, right?
I mean, it's still greedy.
That's cool.
I don't think. Yeah, you try to
write greedy on that bag. I don't care what you write.
Your chances of being greedy hit up with 100,000.
That's what I'm saying. So she cashing out now.
Trying to turn her into an accompanist, not a wife. Okay.
Exactly.
Anyways. Yeah, apparently he was finna get extorted for his news, so he said, no, fuck that. I'm finna go ahead and get out in front of this right now. I'm gonna go ahead and tell everybody, hey, this is what these niggas tried to do. Here are the images that they were gonna use.
So he released his own nudes?
I don't know exactly what he did.
That's when you know you got 185.
Let me see. Let me see. Okay.
Because you ain't got no shame.
I'm finna look it up right now. Hold on. So
dog, if this dude is out here releasing his own nudes, that might be one of the ultimate boss moves of the 21st century.
No, thank you, Mr. Becker. So, all right, we gonna read it. We gonna read the letter. Part of the letter.
I don't.
Okay, hold on. All right, well, let me skim through this. But it's
I just want to know if he's releasing his own nudes.
Oh, okay. Okay, so basically he published exactly what it is that the National Enquirer tried to get from him. Oh, look. Oh, it's a meeting. Okay. I am leaving the office for the night. I will be available on my cell, that number. However, in the interest of expediting the situation and with the Washington Post poised to publish unsubstantiated rumors of the National Enquirer's initial report, I wanted to describe to you the photos obtained during our news gathering. In addition to the below-the-belt selfie, otherwise colloquially known as a dick pic, the Enquirer obtained a further 9 images. These include Mr. Bezos' face selfie at what appears to be a business meeting, Ms. Sanchez's response, a photograph of her smoking a cigar in what appears to be a simulated oral sex scene, a shirtless Mr. Bezos holding his phone in his left hand while wearing his wedding ring. He's wearing either tight black cargo pants or shorts, and his semi-erect manhood is penetrating the zipper of said garment. A full-length body selfie of Mr. Bezos wearing just a pair of black of tight black boxer briefs or trunks with his phone in his left hand while wearing his wedding ring. A selfie of Mr. Bezos fully clothed, a full-length scantily clad body shot with short trunks, a naked selfie in a bathroom while wearing his wedding ring. Mr. Bezos is wearing nothing but a white towel, and on top of his public pubic region can be seen Miss Sanchez wearing a plunging red neckline dress, revealing her cleavage and glimpse of her nether region. Miss Sanchez...
I'm sorry, her what?
Her nether region.
What is that?
Her cleavage and a glimpse of her nether region. I'm assuming that means...
Nipple?
I don't really know. This is weird. That's just weird terminology. Miss Sanchez, I mean, look, just say titties and pussy. What? Anyways, Miss Sanchez wearing a two-piece red bikini with gold detail dress revealing her cleavage. So he's basically, Mr. Bezos essentially published the letter that he received from, from the National Enquirer, basically saying, hey, we finna extort you with these images. So it's just like, he didn't release the images, but he basically said, hey, these shits is coming in case y'all trying to be on some bullshit, come game time. I mean, that's some real nigga shit if I've ever heard it in my life.
I mean, you be like, yo, yeah, they got my nudes. And?
I mean, what?
I still got $185 billion. That's a boss move right there. I can't even get mad.
Real shit. He
so
said, man, fuck that.
So do you think Amazon is going to just completely pull the plug on HQ2?
Absolutely not.
Or they're going to find another city?
Absolutely not. Because people are still going to use Prime. Hit Prime Video and everything else.
No, are they going to pull HQ2?
Oh, HQ2 and they're going to probably pull it out of New York. I think
right. Are they going to pull it and put it somewhere else, or are they just going to pull the plug on the whole thing?
I think they're going to put it somewhere else. They're probably going to put it on the next best city that they had in mind.
I mean, I don't know where that is, but
I don't know either. But I just that.
Yeah, because I heard somebody in Chicago said Oh, that would have been great transition.
What?
Somebody in Chicago said like, hey, y'all ready? If y'all open, y'all come back to the negotiating table. Amazon.
Right.
Put it in Chicago.
Right.
Yes.
But yeah, Jeff Bezos, you a real nigga, bro. That's some G shit.
Speaking of real niggas. My boy's back in the news.
Who?
Colin Kaepernick. He's back in the news.
What he did?
Well, I mean, you talk about the Colorado store or whatever.
Oh well, that was more of a quick mention. There's this sporting goods store up in Colorado had to shut down.
Yes.
Close. Officially, permanently, because they pulled all of the Nike equipment after Nike's campaign with Colin Kaepernick. Pulled all their Nike equipment. Closed down. Fucking idiots.
I mean
that's just a bad business owner, if you ask me. Like,
hey,
even with
integrity.
Hey, integrity of what though?
Integrity of being unemployed, I guess.
No, where was the integrity in that?
No,
you're just gonna pull your best. I'm just saying, like, just in general, because
if you're a sporting goods store and you go in there and ain't no Nike in there, like, I'm walking right back out.
Right. I mean, because here's the thing, like, even though you're joking, there's a lot of people who are just like, yeah, have some integrity. His integrity cost him his entire business.
We'll get to integrity in a second, because it's one of the most overused and understood. That sounded weird when I said that.
Least understood.
I like understood better. Least understood words.
I kind of fuck with understood.
But let's talk about my boy Colin Kaepernick. So Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reed were suing the NFL for collusion as to why they couldn't get in the NFL. After Colin Kaepernick severed his contract with the 49ers. They have now settled that case out of court with a confidentiality agreement. So neither side can say anything else about the case.
Now, what do you think that Colin and them had a case, or do you think the NFL was just tired of it, or what do you think?
Well, here's the thing.
The settlement is always indicative of something larger.
Well, no. One, like I've always said, Colin Kaepernick is in the business of Colin Kaepernick.
Mm-hmm.
Colin Kaepernick probably was paid a handsome sum of money from the NFL to just shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Hush money.
Few pennies out of their pockets.
Right. And Eric Reed, ironically, later on in the week, probably before he decided to settle, got a 3-year deal with the Panthers. $23 million. He's back in the league now. So, now that their money is good, the cause that they stood for or knelt for, where did all that go? Because you're the Colin Kaepernick supporter, I'm not.
Right. You ought to fuck that nigga away.
Because I hope now everybody understood that the last 18 to 24 months that you've been talking about Colin Kaepernick was all for none. Because either you're telling me that the NFL, or what everybody told me that the NFL was just this really racist, not racially sensitive organization that was just about their money and that's it. Well, Colin Kaepernick, even if you would have lost the case, the NFL was going to actually have to answer to that claim. So we would have seen it.
Right.
They would have said, okay, what is the process? You would have had owners, general managers, personnel people, scouts. All of them would have been subpoenaed and had to appear in a court where your lawyer would have said, do you think Colin Kaepernick can play in the NFL? If so, why was he not on anyone's team? Now, only thing we have to go off of is the NFL is a business and they reacted to something that was negatively affecting their customer base. That is not a racial issue. So everybody made it a racial issue, but now we never get the proof because your leader, Colin Kaepernick, sold you out for some money.
True.
So to all the Colin Kaepernick followers out there, I hope you don't think he's getting in the league now.
Probably.
His career's over. But all of the injustice stuff, you now will never get to know the answer because of him.
Right.
This is your leader.
And I heard like a good idea of maybe like people were saying, what if he took a lot of this money and invested it into this other football league that just started up? I don't know if you've heard about that.
Yeah, the AAF.
Yeah. I was wondering, a lot of people were just like, what is it, the American Association of Football or something like that?
I don't care what it stands for.
But what if he went and took that money and invested it there?
But what does that do though?
I mean,
that's owned by a white man too. Like, that's not black owned. The commissioner is Bill Polian, the former GM of the Bills and the Colts. So it's like, what are you talking about?
Right. Oh, man. It's just really unfortunate to think about. Because I'm just like, if you somehow, like if we were Colin Kaepernick and we somehow got to that point, like you got to take that to court. Like, even if it all turned out to be some bull and you lose the case, like you said,
well, because
it would put all of the information out on the table rather than it being this whole secretive process that everyone knows it's a secret, but we don't know what it is, and we would finally be able to at least shed some light on what's going on in there. So this is really unfortunate.
I mean, but
and what now?
No, nothing.
That's
because
what I'm saying,
nobody can say anything.
Right.
And Colin Kaepernick not finna say nothing. Because he still hadn't said anything. His agent came out the other day. It was like, Colin Kaepernick still wants to play football. Now, I think people in the AAF, which is why I don't believe the whole he's investing in the AAF.
No, that wasn't an actual claim. That was
I'm saying just that's why I don't even believe in the what if, because I think they reached out to Colin Kaepernick about playing in the AAF, and he was like, nah, I'm good.
Nah, he requested $20 million.
Right, so he basically said, nah, I'm good. Because he knew that they didn't have that kind of money.
Right.
And he knew he wasn't going to get that money after not playing for 2 years. And the last time you played football, you were awful. That doesn't get you $20 million.
Such a terrible shame.
I mean, but that's just kind of a microcosm of the racial climate that we live in. People pretend to care about racism, even within the own community, until they get their bag. Once their bag is good, then it's, oh yeah, I forgot about these other people. And so LeBron, no, he did not win his case. Yes, his money is set up for life, but he did not win the case. Because every time Colin Kaepernick received an award and he actually said something, he was all about the people. Until it was time to sign the confidentiality agreement that is in direct opposition to you being about the people.
Right. Because here's the thing. Do you think it would be as bad even if he was able to get this over and not do the confidentiality agreement? Because that might be even more of a shocker than actually getting the money. Because to me, that makes it seem like they definitely had a case.
No.
Like even if they didn't win the case, they definitely had one.
I don't think that's what that means. I just think that they wanted people to shut up about Colin Kaepernick. So it's like, look, Colin Kaepernick, don't say nothing. Just let's all just get behind this, and let's get back to the business of being the most popular sports franchise in America. That's what that was. That was a complete and total concession. Like I said, they never really had a case for collusion, especially once Eric Reed got back in the NFL. They were just like, dog, could you not knee on national TV? That's all we wanted you not to do. So if we got to pay you this, I mean, they probably paid a lot less than $100 million they paid to donate to black social justice organizations anyway. So it's like, I don't really know. Like, all of that was for nothing, pretty much.
Yeah, now it's just like, really though, it really turns into what now?
I mean, hopefully what now, you guys can screen your leaders better when it comes to starting a movement. Let's make sure these people are really about what they say they're about before we make them the face of stuff. You made Colin Kaepernick the face of social injustice. And this is what the face of, when you don't screen the clients, the face of social injustice is only the face of social injustice until it comes time to collect the bag. Then he doesn't care about social injustice anymore. Which is what I've always said. In 2008, cops were still shooting unarmed black people. But because the unemployment rate was 15%, nobody cared. Because the economy wasn't doing well, nobody cared. So LeBron, even though you said something dumb, when you talked about Colin Kaepernick winning his case and you kneeling and standing with Kaepernick and setting his family up for life and all that stuff, you are a lot smarter than I thought you were. I just thought about it. I thought about this watching, well, not really watching the All-Star game, but watching Meek Mill mumble through the introductions. Because I didn't understand the word he was saying. LeBron James might be actually smarter than we think he is, and we already think he's brilliant.
I mean, we LeBron is pretty dope.
Now,
but what's got you saying?
Now follow me.
I'm listening.
So, the Lakers probably aren't going to make the playoffs this year.
Probably not.
Right? And if you recall, when LeBron the story about Kevin Durant, right? Obviously, not only did he draft everybody that he could possibly play with next year, he drafted all the big name free agents that were all stars on his team.
Smart guy. I mean, smart plan.
I mean, that's a smart plan, but here's where it gets smarter. One, you think LeBron knows about Anthony Davis's injury history?
Probably.
Because Anthony Davis definitely got hurt right before the All-Star game.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually got the Pelicans GM fired because you didn't trade him and then he got hurt. Every time Anthony Davis plays, his trade value goes down because he is one of the most hurt people in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he doesn't get like majorly hurt, but he just gets the nagging injuries that he has to miss 2 weeks here and there.
True.
Like now it's a shoulder injury. And it's like shoulder injuries are tricky. You know, I mean, he's not Markelle Fultz. Where, I mean, he's double pumping free throws. But I think LeBron knew. It was like, you know what? Try to get him, but if you can't, that's okay. We'll still be number one when he's a free agent. Or we could trade for him this offseason.
Okay.
Here's where he takes the cake, though.
Okay. I was about to say that's not any information that we haven't received.
You remember when they were interviewing Kevin Durant about LeBron, and he said nobody wants to play with LeBron because LeBron always has the ball, and the media circus around LeBron, and everything is always about LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if the Lakers don't make the playoffs, it's no longer about LeBron.
Right.
So when you go into that free agent, when you and Kevin Durant sit down, LeBron, you can say, "Look, I tried. I couldn't get this bunch to the playoffs. You come to LA and we win a championship, that's as much of you as it is me."
But I do feel a big story about the playoffs is the fact that LeBron isn't there.
Right. But
that's going to be a big story.
But that means that everybody's like, okay, because LeBron didn't make the playoffs, people are going to stop saying that he's the best player in the league. That conversation is going to stop throughout the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't think so.
No, that's what it won't be true.
No, I don't think that's going to be a narrative.
Yeah, it is. Because think about it. If Kevin Durant wins 3 straight Finals MVPs with no LeBron in the playoffs, oh yeah, Kevin Durant's the best player in the league. Like I said, is that true? Probably not. But that'll be the narrative because people like to, we're saying James Harden is the greatest one-on-one player ever now.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No.
No, not at all.
Not really, but
You
okay.
gotta play defense to be one-on-one.
Right. I mean, and you can't just get a switch.
Right.
On the guy that's not supposed to be guarding you in the scouting report. Anyway, but when Kawhi Leonard sits down, because you hear a lot of these people, they saying they don't want to play with LeBron because they want to be the guy. Well, here's the pitch. LeBron can say, look, when I was the guy with Lonzo and Kuzma and Ingram and Hart and Rondo and Stevenson, we were 40. We didn't even make the playoffs. Now if we come here, it's you. You become the face. And we finna get Anthony Davis.
But you know goddamn well that even if he pitches that to them, that isn't true.
Yes, it is.
It
will be. It will be if they don't make the playoffs. Because LeBron now, he'll be a year older. He'll be 35, 17 years. He can't be the best player in the league forever.
No,
at some point, somebody's going to pass him. So now, you can be the guy that says it won't be. It'll be like D. Wade and LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
First title, it was about LeBron winning his first title.
Mm-hmm.
But D. Wade played a huge role.
Right.
So D. Wade always goes down as the guy that helped LeBron win.
Right.
Right? Because you know what I think about D. Wade. He's the most overrated player in the history of the NBA. I mean, that doesn't mean he's not great, not first ballot Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. But it doesn't mean he's not great.
I think he 100% should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. But that's a different argument for a different day.
I mean, take away the LeBron years. He's got one scoring title, a Finals MVP, and the torn ACL. That's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. It's not. Can't tell me anything. Like, he's Paul Pierce. Is Paul Pierce a first ballot Hall of Famer? No. But they both have weird stats. That's like, oh, wow. Paul Pierce is the leading scorer in Celtics history. That might get you a first ballot Hall of Fame. Dwayne Wade is the league leader in guard, is a all-time leader in guard blocked shots.
Great defense.
When did we start caring about how many shots my shooting guard was blocking? When have you ever accounted for that? When determining who was going to win the final series? Yeah, but you ain't even take into effect Dwayne Wade's pseudo rim protection. What? Anyway, I think that gives him a better chance to land the star that he needs. I'm not saying that gets you KD. It may not get you KD. It could get you Kyrie. I think it could even get you Kawhi.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could get you Jimmy. It could get you like a Jimmy Butler.
I don't think Jimmy leaving Philly though.
I mean, if they go to the finals, he's not leaving. But
I don't think that. I think if they make it past the second round of the playoffs, which is somewhere he hasn't seen in quite some time, I think not the second round, like the first round of the playoffs, I think he'll be there for a while.
I mean, I think it gives you a chance if you want to play with star players who have egos about being the guy.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving them a great opportunity to say, look, you come in here and we win, you're the guy. Because LeBron's legacy is already set. We already know what LeBron at his peak is.
Mm-hmm. True. Okay.
You put him any other four players in the league going to the finals. Like, that was peak LeBron. So now he's just adding to the trophy case. Because whenever you think of LeBron, like when you think of Michael Jordan, you don't think about young Michael. You don't think about the Michael Jordan who set the record for the lowest score in 3-point contest history.
How many did he score?
5. I don't want to hear anybody say that Michael Jordan would have scored 50 a game in this era. You can't do that if you shoot threes that horribly with nobody guarding you.
I didn't know.
And this was in '88. So this is like almost peak Michael. This is when Michael won the slam dunk contest, All-Star Game MVP, MVP, Defense Player of the Year, all of that in the same year. 5. Shorter 3-point line. The man couldn't shoot. It's okay. But anyway, we know, like, when you think of Michael, you think of the 6th title. You don't think about anything else. Like, you have one image of Michael at his peak. Mm-hmm. We already had that image of LeBron. Either it's LeBron in Miami or it's LeBron pinning Andre Iguodala shot off the glass to give Cleveland his only chance of hope.
Right.
In 52 years. They don't have any hope anymore. He left.
Right.
So now it's just about him counting titles. Nobody's going to go in there and nitpick, say, well, technically he wasn't really the best player. Nah, if KD comes and they can trade for Anthony Davis, which is my dream, that you just put the 3 best players on the same team.
Right.
And they win 3 titles, and LeBron's winning at 35, 36, 37, and he got 7 titles. I don't think anybody will be like, well, technically, the last 3 didn't really count. No, they counted. It's interesting. LeBron might be playing checkers and everybody's playing jacks.
Okay.
You know?
We'll see.
We'll see come
July.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's talk about Steve Harvey and Monique. That was an interesting. I don't want to say it was a war of words, but that was an interesting discussion. I watched both parts of it.
Points on both sides. Good points on
now
both sides.
Now talk to me about the points on both sides.
I mean, because to me, the way that Steve Harvey was coming from, and he quite literally said it himself. You know, if I go down, my kids go down, my grandchildren go down, like everybody who is dependent on me to be a breadwinner for them is all going down. At the same time, Monique was also saying, look, if I am going to come from a place of our most overused, understood word, a place of integrity, you know, why is it that you're being punished for being put in that situation? And then, of course, you know, Steve,
so when she says being punished, just to refresh my mind and everyone else's mind, what we're talking about the Netflix thing, right?
The Netflix thing and the that's really the biggest one.
And then I didn't know that she told Oprah and Tyler Perry and Lee Daniels to go suck her metaphorical genitalia.
Well,
I didn't know she had said that, but she looked him in the eye and said that. I was like, wow.
Yeah. So
you just must not want to work. Huh?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's where the point comes from, because it's just like, you know, if it's kind of like when you say, kind of like what we talked about with Kevin Hart, where it's just like, look, you just, if that's the hill you want to die on because of that's your where your values lie, then you shouldn't be necessarily punished for that, but yeah.
So let's talk about integrity for a second. Overused, understood. Because I think people group together morality, ethics, and integrity. Like, they use them sort of interchangeably. And
I can agree with that.
That's not, if that's how you look at integrity, then you got it wrong. Right? So integrity comes from the word integer. Integer means, what is an integer? It's
an integer? I mean,
it's a whole number. There you go.
Like,
so there's a whole.
I thought you were just like, are you?
No, I was serious.
Okay.
There's a wholeness when it comes to integrity. See, morality is really what you say. Ethics is how you act. Integrity is when they align. So when they become one, that is integrity. You can have good integrity, bad integrity. So let's talk about Monique. One, I wouldn't give Monique a bag of hot fries to perform any type of stand-up comedy. I don't think Monique is funny.
Okay.
I don't think the Parkers is all that funny.
Okay.
So that's my personal opinion.
Right.
But let's talk about the integrity of Netflix. Netflix don't care about Monique. Netflix don't care about anybody except Netflix shareholders. They say that. That's when they become a corporation. That's what they're saying, and they acted as such. You can have bad integrity, because if you say I don't care and you show me you don't care, well, you aligned.
Right.
So, where I don't think Monique has any kind of point is you lost sight of the big picture and you got mad at everybody else.
What was the big picture?
The big picture is black people have been, underrepresented. Just underrepresented.
Yeah. I was wondering, I was like, you just go roll that one.
Nah.
Quick.
I try to give you a jokey joke.
Okay.
And it's like Steve Harvey said, it's a money thing, it's a power thing. We lose somebody, that's opportunity for money and power that's not getting in black pockets, it's getting in white pockets. That's the long game. Long game is generational wealth. Now, if you stand up and you want to boycott Netflix,
now when we get to we're not using Steve Harvey as that mold of a generational wealth.
No, I'm saying that's the ultimate goal of any.
Okay, because
that's the ultimate goal. That should, well, at least it should be the ultimate goal of black people in general.
Yes,
is generational wealth.
Okay.
So if Monique wants to stand on her quote unquote integrity, then you have to be aligned. Now, if she is aligned with the other black people in terms of what they say it should be, which is generational wealth, then she didn't act in accordance to that by saying let's boycott Netflix without a plan, like Steve already said, and you're pretty much, you know. And another thing, I'll side note to this. There's probably some kind of unwritten brother sisterhood that comes with comedians.
Yeah.
Like I said personally on this show, when you started naming other people's figures as far as what they were getting for stand-up comics, right? When you started counting other people's money, saying Amy Schumer got this and Dave Chappelle got this and so and so got this, well, you're not acting in accordance to that brotherhood either. So the whole of morality and ethics being aligned, show me where it was there for Monique. And she just stood on something because what it came across as that she was mad that she was only getting a Big Mac to perform.
Okay.
And she wanted everybody to stand with her because she at least wanted the fries in the combo. She couldn't even get the combo.
She gave her the sandwich.
They gave her the sandwich only.
A Big Mac would slap right now. Big Macs are so good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down.
Big Macs are so good.
I mean, look,
those like the only sandwiches I get. Those like really the only thing I'd really get from McDonald's. But then Big Macs be slap.
I'm down for McDonald's right now. Yeah, I know you want to go to the other place, but I mean, I'm cool with
Mickey D.
You're getting it taken back to the crib and let's talk. But it's up to you. Anyway.
That's a great idea. Okay.
Anyway, but I thought it was a really good conversation because you got to hear both sides of it. You got to hear people that was like, look, you moving funny. Like I commend Steve Harvey for going on national TV and telling somebody that he cares about that you was moving wrong.
Right.
I think that is lacking. That people ain't just like in society as a whole.
Right.
Because
like not even in public or on national TV.
I mean,
like
not even
in general.
Right.
Like
I'm not even talking about black, white. Just nobody does it.
Nobody talks that shit.
Nobody.
So.
It's like a war against that.
Right.
You know? So yeah, I thought it was a great conversation. I mean, I think Monique was completely and utterly wrong in pretty much everything she said.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think she needs to apologize to Oprah. I mean, if that's what you want Oprah to do, then be it integrity. Don't apologize.
Right.
If you're gonna play the integrity card, now you've talked yourself into something. If you feel that way about Lee Daniels because he booted you off of Empire, oh yeah, the original Empire was Wesley Snipes and Monique as Cookie Lion. I wasn't gonna watch that.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna watch that at all.
Well, I mean, I would have probably still checked out Empire, but
no, sir. Wesley Snipes. What musical gifts Wesley Snipes got?
That is also true. I mean, because Terrence Howard actually is gifted musically, like legitimately.
I'm not watching. In no way in the world would I ever think that Wesley Snipes would marry Monique, and they would have children. We getting ready to talk about Jamal Lyon.
Mm-hmm.
He can't be on there.
Why he can't be on?
Did you see the skin complexion? Come on now. Wesley Snipes is jet black.
Dark people can have light-skinned children.
Yeah, no.
Yes, they can.
I know. I believe
they literally
that.
can have that.
I believe that. But I'm just saying, that makes it a whole lot less believable. Wesley Snipes and Monique.
Because that's a real thing that can happen.
Come on, dog. Wesley Snipes and Monique, you gotta change the whole cast. I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve his part. Well, he probably don't, given what he's been up to. But I'm just saying, that whole show is different. That show is unwatchable.
I don't
with
think
Wesley
it's that. I think
Snipes
it's
and
different.
Monique.
It's different, but it's not unwatchable.
What is the storyline there?
Probably the same exact storyline.
Bro, you do realize that Terrence Howard has released music on the Empire soundtrack. Mm-hmm. You want to hear a Wesley Snipes song?
What if Wesley Snipes is actually musically gifted?
What? I guarantee he's not.
How you know?
I guarantee he's not.
How you know?
I know.
Okay.
Come on.
So
now.
you don't.
Blade ain't got bars, bro.
So you don't know that.
Blade don't got bars.
So you would have known that had this not been Empire, you would have known that Terrence Howard had musical gifts?
Yes.
How?
Because I've seen his movies before. He normally plays guitar in pretty much all of the black cult movies he was in.
Okay. So now, what if Wesley Snipes has the same thing? He just didn't have the same.
Show me the Wesley Snipes movie where he's playing guitar, and then I'll believe you.
I'm just saying, how do we know that he doesn't have musical talents, though? Just because he hasn't played guitar in movies.
No, because you haven't seen Wesley Snipes do anything musically ever in his life.
We haven't seen that. That doesn't mean he doesn't have the talent.
Okay. That's not... I mean, that's not a credible argument, but okay.
Okay. On to the next topic.
No, I mean, the next topic is Jamal Lyon.
Hey, Jesse out here, he moving funny.
There you go.
This whole thing is turning out to be a hoax after the Chicago Police Department investigated or questioned two of the people from the from Empire as two extras or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It somehow has come to light that it is suspected that he paid the two assailants $3,500 to stage the attack with him. None of it is making sense. None of it is making sense, and I feel sorry for the LGBTQIA community for something like this getting so much press only for it to turn out to be an extreme lie. Because if it is, I mean, that's going to make it that much harder for the LGBTQIA community to just live their lives if this is not already difficult.
Well, here's the thing.
Like, that's going to make it that much harder.
Well, here's the thing. Nobody told anybody to make this a story. Now, it was probably...
It was reported...
The LGBT community... Well, I got two thoughts. I got two thoughts on this.
Okay.
First thought is, it's ironic that now we want to trust Chicago PD. Now, Chicago PD has been noted as not a well-run organization.
True.
So now we want to believe them?
Also understandable.
That's one thought. And the second thought is...
But the thing is, with that, the information that Jussie himself has given hasn't really made too much sense.
No, I get it. But I'm saying if we're using the Chicago PD to confirm what we all think is happening...
Right.
That's kind of funny to me.
True. I agree.
Now, the second thing is, nobody thought to just wait a minute. That's what's missing. Nobody thought to just slow down to make sure that this was... Because it went from it happened to hate crime to LGBT people saying, see, this is difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Again, did you screen the client? Did you look at the data? That's the problem I'm having at work right now.
Right.
People just don't look at the data, but they tell me that something's wrong. Did anybody think to just calm down?
Mm-hmm.
Let's wait until the facts come out. Then we wouldn't be talking about the LGBT community because we would have seen that the stuff didn't add up from jump. The second the first facts started coming out from the story, outside the headline, everybody said, now that don't make a whole lot of sense.
Right.
But see, where's the news in that, though? It's not a news until you figure out it's a hoax, but in order for it to be a hoax, it has to be reported as something else first.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, let's everybody just slow down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We're okay.
None of that shit makes sense, though.
And let's slow down a bit again as we talk about half blackface, Gucci, and Floyd. All right, so Gucci came out with a sweater that covers over the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that lady was rocking it was Sambo-like. It looked like half blackface.
Mm-hmm.
And people started boycotting Gucci.
Mm-hmm.
And Floyd Mayweather, because
said fuck that.
He's a spokesperson for the black community.
Mm-hmm.
Said, I can wear what I want. I'm gonna go drop 300 stacks at Gucci.
Bad integrity, but integrity.
And of course, T.I. doesn't like Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
So T.I. came out with this song. And Royce the 5'9" tweeted Like, you don't know how important you are to the black community. I like Royce.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Royce.
Mm-hmm.
He's wrong.
He is.
Floyd Mayweather doesn't mean the god doggone thing to the black community.
Right.
Floyd Mayweather is a phenomenal boxer. Greatest defensive fighter ever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Floyd can wear what he wants. That is legal.
That is true.
But
his actions aligned with that statement.
Now let's talk about the half blackface. So that's what I'm gonna get into. Because Dapper Dan is now meeting with the CEO of Gucci, and they're gonna hire more diverse hiring now, because that's what companies do when they get accused of being racist. They hire people to say, "Look, he's black. He works here. It's fine." Now,
but I don't necessarily think it should just be hiring. We would need to be in the places, in the rooms where these types of design decisions are being made.
right, but see, that's way too far. That's way too far. That would be the logical thing to do. And because we react to everything that happens, we're never gonna get there. Mm-hmm. Because you keep majoring in minor things. This half blackface sweater is a minor thing. Now I understand, because I've seen the picture, not a good look.
Terrible.
But if it was another color, like you can order sweaters in different colors. Mm-hmm. If the lady didn't wear black in the photo, would anybody think it was a blackface photo? If the sweater was red, would you be upset about it?
I need to look at this.
If the sweater was green, would you be upset about it? Will we be having this controversy?
I mean, for one, because I didn't really have anything to say about it. One, because I am not really a...
Right, you're not a Gucci guy.
I'm not a fan of Gucci. I also don't have the money to be a fan of Gucci. Even if I did, from the things that I've seen, I don't really like Gucci.
The only thing I like that's Gucci are the sneakers and the luggage, the backpacks and stuff. That's the only thing I really would get high fashion. All the other stuff, they can miss me with that. As far as like actual clothes, I'm good.
I mean, but it's the thing, like, it's the black face, it's like the black sweater and red lips. Like,
right,
red
so if it was a
lips.
green sweater and red lips, would we be having this discussion?
I don't know. Honestly, I just have no clue.
I mean, we're gonna accuse somebody wearing a green sweater of wearing blackface?
A green sweater with red lips?
Of being blackface?
I mean, probably.
And that's why you never get to the core of the actual racism that's happening.
Right. I think it would, like I said, it would be better to have people in the design room to be like, hey, maybe I like the inspiration of your design, but that looks a little funny. You might not want to go with
just
that. Just
don't make a black one. Right. Like that. It's not that. But this is Black History Month, right?
Right.
And every time Black History Month happens, we eventually go back to slavery because Roots comes on. Mm-hmm. I don't want to spend 10 days watching the whole Roots series.
Me neither.
Because,
that shit make me sad.
Kunta Kinte ain't no kin to me.
That shit make me real sad.
But what I'm saying is, on the scale of all of the racist stuff that has happened to black people since we got here, where does blackface rank on the scale? On a scale from 1 to they hanging us.
Not because...
Where does blackface rank?
I mean, but that is also... blackface has been like a huge negative representation of us ever since animation has been a thing.
Right, but where does it rank in terms of racism? In terms of, oh no, my life is at stake. Oh no, this completely wrecks the way I live my life. Where does blackface rank on that?
Oh, probably not very high.
So then why do we keep blowing up? Why are we dissing Floyd Mayweather for buying Gucci when blackface isn't high on the list of stuff that they could possibly do to us? The reason that the Jamal Lyon story was such a story is because it got higher on the scale of, oh, they hanging us. That's still a thing. Remember when we pulled up the Colorado law that said slavery was still legal, technically?
Right.
That's high.
That's pretty high.
That's where we need to be. That's where the problem is. The problem isn't somebody wore blackface. Going back to the Virginia governor stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He wore blackface at a time where it was cool to be racist. That's not high on the list. So why do we keep blowing up about it? It always distracts us from the actual problem. The problem is nobody's in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's making actual decisions. That did not pass one black person's face before they said, yeah, that needs to be the ad for our new sweater. That's the racism there.
Mm-hmm.
They don't think black people can make company-wide decisions. But you don't get there if you get mad at blackface sweaters. You never get there. They can hire more black people, and in a week, everybody's going to forget about that. And that's the issue that stays. That's the issue that always stays. Can somebody please stop worrying about blackface? Blackface is a minor inconvenience on the racism scale. I mean, am I saying something wrong?
I mean, me personally, I agree. I mean, there are more things that we
right.
could
If
definitely
you
be
we could
focused
go
on,
we could go to McDonald's wherever we going, and we see somebody in blackface, it's just like,
nigga, really?
but I'm still hungry. Like I'm not finna not order my 2 double cheeseburgers because of that. I mean, now if the person worked there,
That's different.
no, we probably have to go to a different restaurant.
Right.
But that still doesn't make me not hungry.
Right. I'm gonna go get food somewhere.
Gee.
Just not here.
All right, I got a soliloquy, but I feel like I just said one. No, I want to have 2 soliloquies.
I mean, how much more do we have to get into?
No, that's
Or is
it.
That's it?
You don't have anything else?
Oh shit. Okay. Well, I mean, go ahead. I mean, shit. Go ahead. Get into it. Who you got to talk shit about?
I mean, I just, I want to be great.
You want to be great, of course. Everyone does.
I don't think everyone does.
Okay.
Because
fair.
I mean, honestly, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't
I
think
understand.
everyone does.
After really hearing that and thinking about it for like 2 seconds, you're right. You're right. You're 100% right. Everyone doesn't want to be great.
But you do.
I do want to be great.
And hopefully there's some people listening that share our same sentiments of wanting to be great.
I mean, I would think so.
It's hard.
It's mad hard.
And I realized this week the hardest part
What is the hardest?
is that nobody will understand it. Nobody, even within people who are also trying to be great. It's really a solo journey. No matter how much you try to communicate with somebody about the stress, the pressure, the expectations, because it's such an internal thing. Being great is internal.
Mm-hmm.
It's not external. People can't see the struggle.
And oftentimes people aren't setting those expectations.
Right.
A lot of the time, like, I know for me, my expectations of what it is to be great, at least with like my music, it's all pretty much in my head.
Exactly.
Like,
but like there's a level of sacredness that you have with that. Like, I don't just give out that information.
mm-hmm.
Because I, like you, all the expectations that I have that I think I can accomplish and that I will accomplish, Lord willing.
Shout out to Jesus.
That was a funny one-liner. It's in my, it's private.
Mm-hmm.
There's a privacy factor about honing in and being great that people just won't understand. I was talking to somebody the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and I was talking to him about my schedule, and my schedule is freaking, it's nuts.
Mm-hmm. This nigga wakes up at goddamn 3:30.
Every 6 days a week.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
And I woke up at like 3:35 one day. And that throws off my whole schedule. Like, I have to not do some things on my schedule because of 5 minutes. And I was talking, and, this lady was asking me how my day was, and I was like, yeah, I'm behind. I woke up 5 minutes late. I woke up at 3:35, and it messed everything up. And she was like, what? Like, what are you talking about?
Some people just
Like,
don't
it's
understand.
okay to be off for one day. No, it's not. But, like, I can't make her understand it. Like, when you decide you want to be great, there's a level of detachment that you have to do from everyone else, and you can't really communicate it because they don't know, because you can't tell them. You feel me?
Because me personally, I don't think it has to necessarily be detached and isolated. I think it's definitely going to be times where you have to be more so like, I got to take this time to do what I do, free of everything else.
No, when I say detach, I'm not. You said detachment and isolation; those are two separate things. Like, for you, to make it personal, you remember when you told me that you were like out with some friends or whatever, and you brought your journal with you, and you was just journaling. And people were like, what are you doing?
You're
like,
right.
You're just like, I'm journaling, but I'm journaling because that's what I have to do.
Right.
Like, I can't really explain to you why I do this, but this is just part of my process.
Even though I literally can, but like,
I mean, but
I get what you're saying.
Like, that's something that you detach from everyone else. Like, everyone else is doing something and you're doing something different. That's what I mean by detachment.
And that was definitely very interesting in that time when I was in there doing that. Everybody was, mingling and talking to everybody, and I was just right there, just off to the side, just writing. Like 4 people just walked up to me like, "What are you doing?"
Exactly.
Just like, journaling, singer songwriter, gotta get these bars off. So I need to get more back into that. By the way, I've been slacking like shit on that. I'm so disappointed.
And I think that right there is the single hardest part.
What?
Is that even people you care about, you have to detach from them in order to do what you got to do.
And I'd say the next hardest part is keeping it up and making it habit.
Oh, well, that's up there. That's 1A.
Because like I said, me and you talked. That's where we kind of both are. Where it's just like, yeah, well, not me more so than you, because you are insanely a creature of habit. But like, for me, like, I just gotta, like, I definitely fell off with it, and I know that I need to for sure get back on that.
But even at that, you know what helps with that?
What?
A support system.
True that.
But then you can't say, I just need you, like, I don't want you to ask no questions. Just periodically tell me to journal. Think about, well, why? Don't worry about that. Just ask a question. Well, I need to know. No, you don't. Shut up. Just do what I tell you to do. So I think that's the hardest part, man. So for anyone out there who has decided to take up the path to greatness, and you feeling like it's you against the world, that's because it probably is. But you gotta understand that there's a lot of people out there who are also fighting the world.
Yeah.
So the world is fighting multiple battles, and you're fighting one.
Right. And that's not necessarily to say that they all are fighting the same battle, because the world is pretty big. There are battles everywhere.
Right, but the world
has
multiple attentions.
Right. There are people who there are some people out there who understand the stresses and just the entire experience of battling the world.
Yep.
And they know that it's not going to be the same battle, but we know what it's like to be battling the world in some way.
Yep.
So
that's all I got, man.
I mean, that's real. That's some real shit.
Episode 15 in the books.
In the books, of course. Y'all know the drill.
Special announcement.
Oh, we got a special announcement because we forgot last week.
Yeah. Not gonna forget it this week. So,
okay, go ahead. What's the announcement?
So, obviously we're getting into the marketing of this, of Unprofessional Opinion. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at UPO_pod. And we were talking before the show, and we said we wanted to kind of reveal more of ourselves, of us outside of the podcast. And one thing that we like to do is we like to rank stuff. We like to argue,
Mm-hmm.
but we like to rank stuff. We like to debate about certain things, and we like to put them in bracket form. So we got March coming up, March Madness.
Of course.
Everybody's gonna be filling out a bracket. We're gonna have an R&B bracket.
Mm-hmm.
We're both R&B fans. We're gonna start off with 2000s.
Mm-hmm. Are we gonna do how many rankings are we gonna do an episode?
Honestly, we're gonna let the people decide.
Mm-hmm.
So just stay tuned for that. We're gonna have a list of albums. If you guys have any albums that you think need to be considered, hit us up. We'll take it into consideration. We'll come out with the list with the seedings, and we'll try to do a couple matchups, an episode. Hopefully by the end of March we'll have a winner of what was the best R&B album of the 2000s.
Right.
I already know what it is.
I've definitely got a top choice thus far.
So,
we ain't gonna say nothing just yet.
Right.
We guarantee that ours are probably different. So.
Most definitely.
So yeah.
So I mean that's where we're at, man, and we want y'all participation on it. It'd be a good way to kind of engage with y'all, and y'all can engage with us. And we're excited. Give us a couple weeks, man, and we'll be ready to go.
We'll do it.
All right. I'm JC.
And I'm AJ. This is the Unprofessional Opinion Podcast. We'll catch y'all folks on the block sometime.